Good afternoon. Welcome to the graduation reception for the 279th training class. My name is Steve McCorkle, and I am the class coordinator. I invite everyone to stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Class 279, please stand. Right face. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Center face. Please be seated. On behalf of the KLETC administration, instructional, and support staff, we would like to congratulate all of you for completing your training at KLETC. During your time at KLETC, you have walked past the Wall of Honor numerous times. The Wall of Honor is a reminder of the ultimate sacrifice paid by each of the KLETC graduates memorialized there. At this time, we'd like to take a moment of silence to honor the 27 KLETC graduates that have given the ultimate sacrifice. Please join me. Thank you. It is a KLETC tradition for the class president to deliver a few brief remarks on behalf of the graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, the 279th Basic Training Class President, Officer Kaylin Leach with the Hayes Police Department.
Good afternoon to all family and friends who gathered here with us today for the graduation ceremony of the 279th Basic Training Class. I am Kalen Leach, and I was somehow lucky enough to be elected the class president by my colleagues. It is my honor to welcome you all here on this day of achievement and to have your company, whether virtual or physical, to join us in celebration. I promise you, whether you know it or not, each and every one of you and each and every one of us are extremely thankful for your attendance. And on behalf of the class, I would like to thank you myself. As some of you may know, the 279th Basic Training Class was something of a pilot class for the new curriculum. That is soon to be the standard of the KLETC's Training Academy. Now, I would be a liar if I said that we were not faced with difficult days, but I'd also be a liar if I said that we ever gave up. No matter what turns our days took, we adapted and we overcame. This class has time and time again displayed unmatched flexibility and resiliency regardless of the challenges we faced. But we did not face these challenges alone. Every step of the way, the KLETC staff was watching and working diligently to correct any issues they may have seen. Everyone involved with the 279th Basic Training Class has put countless hours of work into making this the best curriculum for the future of law enforcement in Kansas. I was very blessed to work and to learn alongside these outstanding men and women. Personally, I do not think the administrators of the KLETC could have picked a more fitting group of people to help form this new curriculum. Now, I would say that while we have formed into a well-functioning team, there is not a like personality between any of us. If you would have told me 14 weeks ago that the people in front of me would have been some of my best friends, I would have probably laughed you out of the building. But I would really be eating my words now. I have watched each and every one of these people flourish during their time here, exceeding even their own expectations. I am so proud of the 279th Basic Training Class and the progress that we have made together during our time at KLETC. I hope that each and every one of your families know that the time that you have sacrificed here was not wasted. I know I have mentioned that we have paved the way for the future of law enforcement in Kansas, but that future starts with us. No matter how many people follow us, no matter what corrections are made to this curriculum along the way, we will always be the first of the future. And while many things have changed in the methods in which they are taught, the materials have largely remained the same. Do your job, do it right, do it safely. Never lose your integrity and always be a professional. I know each and every one of your families wants you to come home at the end of the day. So let's not leave them waiting. Good luck to all of you, and I will see you out there.
Officer Leach, on behalf of the KLETC administration and staff, we would like to present you with this plaque as an appreciation of you being the class president. Hopefully, you will proudly display this back in your office. You can retrieve this plaque from the end. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's also a tradition for the graduating class to create and manage a legacy project. Officer Leach will now step up and talk about the 279th Legacy Project on behalf of the class. Would Candy Carrillo please come up to the podium?
I would like to recognize a set of individuals who through these 14 weeks worked tirelessly to help us. A group of individuals who, no matter what the conditions were waiting for us with a smile. That group of individuals being the KLETC cook staff, who over these 14 weeks with only 7 people served each and every one of us nearly 200 meals a person. For just our class, that's nearly 4,000 meals in total. Candy, first off, I would like to thank you on behalf of the 279th, but my words only pale in comparison to the gratitude these men and women feel. At this time, 279, give not only Candy, but the whole kitchen staff, Monica, Bridget, Sam, Terry, Kylie, and Renee, a round of applause. Please stay up here. As a token of our thanks, we ordered photos of each and every one of you to be hung in the serving area of the cafeteria to introduce to the hundreds of officers that come through here each year, those that are working diligently in the kitchen. This is our way of letting you know that your hard work has been recognized by each and every one of us, and that we were very lucky to share these 14 weeks with you. Photos are just right behind you. I will. And not only did we get photos of each and every one of you wonderful people, but we have an engraved plaque reminding you why we chose you for our legacy project, a plaque that expresses our appreciation. It says, to respect the reliable and to recognize the wonderful. 279, please applaud.
Thank you, Candy, and thank you, Officer Leach. At KLETC, we recognize those student officers who have excelled in the academic, physical, and skills areas during their 14-week basic training curriculum. Throughout the 14 weeks of basic training here at KLETC, each officer is required to take 10 graded quizzes, 4 benchmark exams to show their retention of the subjects that have been presented. They are also required to take 4 proficiency tests where the students were required to perform the skills that have been taught. Any student that has maintained a test average of 94% or higher became eligible to be recognized as a member of the Director's Honor Roll. Would Officer Nicholas Pate of the Overbrook Police Department please join me at the podium? Officer Pate is receiving the Larry Welch Academic Award, given to the student that obtained the highest test average overall of 94% or higher. Officer Pate completed the program with an academic test average of 97.16%. Please join me in recognizing his achievement. Fitness is a key component in a peace officer's life. Fitness helps them deal with daily stress, aids them in maintaining a higher, healthier lifestyle, and enables them to better mitigate dangers that they may encounter. The members of the 279th during their time here at KLETC have been active and engaged. Would Officers Cassidy Fox from the Leavenworth Police Department and Wyatt McKinney from the Abilene Police Department please join me at the podium? To be recognized for completing the 200-mile club, a student officer must complete at least 30 push-ups in a minute, 30 sit-ups in a minute, and run the mile and a half in 18 minutes or less. Additionally, they have to log up to 200 miles or more of walking or running outside of the normal classroom activities. Both Officer Fox and Officer McKinney have earned the award of the 200-mile club. Officer Fox is being awarded this ribbon for logging the most miles during her time here at KLETC, over 200. Officer McKinney is being awarded this ribbon for having the highest level of improvement throughout his time here at KLETC. Officer McKinney improved his overall fitness score by the highest margin. He also completed the 200-mile club. Please join me in recognizing these officers' accomplishments. Would Officer Randall Duvier of the Newton Police Department please join me at the podium? This award is for the top shot. This award recognizes the student officer from the 279th basic training class who attained the highest firearms proficiency. Officer Duvier. Please join me in recognizing Officer Duvier for his accomplishment. It is my honor this afternoon to introduce to you our keynote speaker. Chief Anna Hatter grew up in Wichita, where she attended North High School and then Friends University. Chief Hatter was hired as a Wichita police officer and spent 27 years completing many assignments and rising through the ranks of the Wichita Police Department. In 2020, Chief Hatter retired from the Wichita Police Department, holding the rank of Deputy Chief. This did not end her public service career. In October of 2020, Chief Hatter took the position as the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the city of Abilene, where she currently serves. Chief Hatter is married to her husband, Chris, and they have 5 children and 11 grandchildren. Please welcome Abilene Police Chief Anna Hatter.
Thank you, Class Coordinator McCorkill, Executive Director Beck, and the administration that's here today. I'd also like to say thank you to the friends and family who are watching and unable to attend in person. Congratulations to you all, the graduates of KLETC's 279th class. You've now officially made your transformation from citizen to law enforcement officer, adapted and overcame, mastered a new curriculum, and successfully arrived at this moment in your life. From this point forward, until the day that you retire, you will be in the public eye. Every action you take or fail to take will be subject to intense scrutiny. That is just a fact of life from now on. I'm not going to talk to you about your duty, the dangers of this profession, or the changing landscape of law enforcement. I'm sure those topics were thoroughly explored by your instructors during your training. Today, I'm going to give what I think is good advice on building a long and successful career. Remember that this is a service profession. It's your responsibility to protect and serve. Never take action based on emotion. Your actions could have lifelong consequences for the citizens you meet. Maya Angelou said, at the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel. Your goal should be to make every person you contact feel respected. Whether you stop to say hello during routine patrol, respond to a call for service, or take someone to jail. Every day, you have the opportunity to build up your name or tear it down. Every person you interact with gives you an opportunity to make an impression. An impression of you as an individual, and also an impression of law enforcement in general. me, your classmates, and your agency. Every person you meet will tell at least 5 other people about their experience with you. At the end of a workday, you will have spread your reputation to dozens of people, either net positively or negatively. Some of these impressions may follow you for the rest of your career. That being said, sometimes you're going to mess up. Accept criticism from your supervisors and use it to make yourself better. As a new officer, as a human being, mistakes are inevitable. Your leadership will expect them, and they have the responsibility to hold you accountable. Accept any discipline or counseling with an open heart and mind. I have had the privilege to hold a wide variety of assignments in my career, and I know for sure I was not always the smartest or most experienced person who applied, but what made me a good applicant were my efforts to be coachable, to know and admit freely that I don't know everything, and despite making many, many mistakes, taking responsibility for them. Be calm and be in control. Too many officers seek to control people with an authoritarian attitude, and that seldom works. Be in control of yourself, and people will follow your lead. Be calm in the face of chaos and keep the end goal in mind. Avoid using force unless it is required, and then use only the amount necessary to meet your goal of controlling the situation. Don't get caught up in the drama of the situation because it will cloud your judgment. People call 911 because they're unable to control a problem, and they expect you to be confident, calm, and in control of yourself. Throughout your career, you will often see the worst side of people. It can be tempting to respond in kind. If you do, you let other people decide what type of officer you're going to be. Make that decision as you sit here today. Reflect upon the officer you are determined to be, and then hold yourself accountable to that standard. Be an ethical professional. People will know immediately if you're honest and competent. Prepare for your job as a professional and expect those around you to be professional as well. Adopt a professional persona and put it on every day with your uniform. There is never a need to curse at or belittle any person for any reason. Strive to make your community proud of your organization. Take the time to explain your actions and decisions to people. Even if they disagree with you, they'll appreciate that you took time to treat them respectfully. Enhance your credibility by demonstrating good common sense, technical ability, and again, professionalism. You should always be inquisitive, suspicious, and thorough. The first line of defense for your community lies with you. It's a fine line you walk. It is not us against them. While members of the public may take what we do personally, we should not. Police officers follow the path of truth. It's about helping those who need help and arresting those who prey upon society. And always, always remember that right is right, even if no one else is doing it, and wrong is wrong, even if everyone else is. You will not always be appreciated to the degree you think appropriate. You'll not always be respected in the ways you deserve. You'll be required to work when you're exhausted. You'll be asked to do things that are unpleasant. You'll be forced to make hard choices. You'll be expected to do the right thing when it's hard. You'll see things that other people never want to see, and you'll experience things that will break your heart. In all of this, you'll always be expected to be the better person, to keep your head up and continuously push forward and stay the course. But your efforts at work will make a difference, no matter how small, every single shift. If you do your job correctly, you will matter to someone. I promise you that. Use every call and contact to make a positive difference. Treat everyone the way you would like to have your family or friends treated. Building trust internally and externally is truly the key to policing. Trust takes a long time to build, but only seconds to destroy. Your integrity is the only thing that you can lose. No one can take that from you. You have to give it up. Never be satisfied that you know enough or that you're good enough. Be a leader. Remember, the leader is not always the boss, and the boss is not always the leader. The leader is the one who sets the examples for others to follow. Give others credit for your team's accomplishments. Your teammates know what your part was. If you did a good job, let them talk about it. Actively listen to other people's ideas. Listen to understand rather than to respond. When someone is talking, listen to understand what they're saying instead of thinking about what you want to say back when they stop talking. Consider that someone else's idea might be better than yours, and consider that you could be wrong. I've been doing this work for a long time, and probably the best piece of advice I can give you is written on a piece of wood sitting on a shelf in my office. It reads, "Work hard and be nice to people." A brief story, and then I'll stop talking, I promise. In 2000, one of my first calls as a newly promoted sergeant in Wichita was a death in the north part of the city. It was raining hard that day, and we were busy and short on officers, so I took up a post at the front of the house, controlling access to the scene and jotting down the names of people who were allowed to enter. Some of you may have heard of Lieutenant Kenneth Landwear. He was an iconic homicide lieutenant for Wichita PD who led the BTK investigation. His knowledge and expertise were legendary, but that's not the reason I bring him up today. He was also very kind. As I stood in the rain, he teased me for not being prepared and having an umbrella with me, but then gave up his own and told me to keep it. I still carry that umbrella in my patrol car to this day. 21 years later, his act of kindness meant enough to me to think about it, to share with you today. Even the smallest acts of kindness impact those around you far more than what you realize. So be kind when you can, work hard, and be nice to people. Thank you for allowing me to share your day. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chief Hatter. As a token of our appreciation, please accept this plaque for being our guest speaker of the 279th Basic Training. Again, if we could give her a round of applause, please. At KLETC, ethics are at the forefront of training. The oath of ethics affirmation is a constant reminder of the importance of doing the right thing. The ultimate purpose of law enforcement is public service. When a law enforcement officer takes on the oath of office, they assume great responsibilities. They have entered into a position of being role models where they must lead by example. They become enforcers of the laws and protectors of society. Because the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center believes the concepts and principles within this oath should be a dominating force in all officers' lives, I asked the class president, Kaylin Leach, to lead the class in the oath of affirmation to the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics. Officer Leach, could you please step forward and lead the class in the oath?
Class 279, please stand. Present. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution of the United States, the state of Kansas, my community, and the agency I serve. Arms down. Class 279, you may be seated.
I congratulate all of you on your accomplishments, and Godspeed to each one of you. Now, Officer Leach will announce the names of the graduates of the 279th Basic Training class.
Front row, please stand. John Allen from the Fort Scott Police Department. Covey Becker with the Ellis County Sheriff's Office. Derek Bohm with the Kansas State University Police Department. Jake Cuneo with the Leavenworth Police Department. Randall Duvier with the Newton Police Department. Cassidy Fox with the Leavenworth Police Department. Justin Green with the Leavenworth County Sheriff's Office. Front row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Second row, please stand. Lane Hammond with the Hutchinson Police Department. Sheila Mallett with the Kearney County Sheriff's Office. Wyatt McKinney with the Abilene Police Department. Nicholas Murray with the Dodge City Police Department. Nicholas Pate with the Overbrook Police Department. Allison Roman with the Hutchinson Police Department. Second row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Third row, please stand up. Carlos Rosales with the University of Kansas Medical Center Police Department. Anthony Schmidt with the Meade Police Department. Sean Sprayberry with the Republic County Sheriff's Office. Phil Steinloggy with the Seneca Police Department. Anthony Timms with the Junction City Police Department. Catlin Warman with the Rollins County Sheriff's Office. Devin Willard with the Pratt County Sheriff's Office.
Kaylin Leach with the Hayes Police Department. Third row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Class 279. It's been my honor and my pleasure to be just a small part of your journey in this great career. I wish you nothing but success and happiness throughout everywhere you go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending today's graduation celebration. Associate Director of Basic Training, Alvin Sowers, will now deliver a few closing remarks and conclude today's celebration by formally certifying the 279th Basic Class as full-time law enforcement officers.
Class 279, would you please stand? On behalf of Executive Director Beck, I hereby certify that each of you has successfully completed the requirements to be full-time law enforcement officers for the state of Kansas. Congratulations. And for the words you've been waiting for 14 weeks, class dismissed.